when I was about 19, I had met my now husband, and we were going to be getting married soon, and I was like, I got to do something about this weight. And that's when the Atkins diet was really popular back in the early 2000s. And so I went on the Atkins diet. I was 19. I had, still a strong metabolism. I dropped about 40 pounds in a couple of months. I even had to get my wedding dress taken in about 3 times, which was annoying, but it was a pretty good problem to have. I didn't mind. And so that was my intro into health. Before that, I really didn't think about food as it related to my health. And then after that, I decided, because of that big transformation that I had, that I was going to just look into nutrition more. And in my mind, it was like, well, I've learned this much. I'm going to keep going, and I'll just keep learning and building on what I know. And it took a while to discover that people don't necessarily agree in the nutrition world. And so you can listen to Dr. Atkins and he says one thing, and then I would go to the bookstore we have in Portland, big bookstore called Powell's Books, and I would go into the nutrition section, and I'd just, peruse the books, and I grabbed one that was just like the nutrition Bible. And I was like, oh, this has all the nutrition information in it. And so I was trying to, get nutrition information like that, and ended up getting pretty confused. I kind of had another evolution in my health journey. I know that diet fixes a lot. And like having that foundation for me of getting my metabolic health under control was huge. But there were some things that the diet itself wasn't fixing. And the way that I had been addressing things, it was just, well, let's go stricter. What do we need to cut out next? What protocol do we do next to fix these problems? Still focusing on diet being the only answer. And I found myself a couple years ago at a place where I was the strictest I had ever been, closest to carnivore, dairy-free, nut-free. I wasn't even having Keto Chow because I couldn't handle the xanthan gum. And I found myself with worsening health issues. I found out I was iron deficient, even though I was sometimes eating 3 meals with red meat a day. And somehow my body wasn't absorbing the iron. Through trying to figure that out, I found out I had SIBO, which is a gut issue. So my gut health was in a rough place. My rosacea kept getting worse and worse, even the stricter that I got. I found myself just narrowing and narrowing my diet. And I had to kind of have a come to Jesus moment when I saw all these health issues and realized that what the path I was going on of restricting more wasn't actually helping me. So I had to go down the path of something other than diet. And I went down the path of gut healing. I used some herbal supplements, I used probiotics and some different things, and about 6 months it took. And I feel like that got my body to a different place. So I had focused primarily on foods before that. Is this a good food? Is this a bad food? And what do I need to cut out and what do I need to consume? And it turned out that there were things that I could do to my body and help my body actually handle foods better. And that was just like a light bulb moment for me, that there was a problem actually internally. It really hit home with the iron and the meat, where I'm like, I am eating all of this really healthy meat. I was eating a really good diet, but there was something going on in my body that I actually couldn't absorb it. I couldn't use the nutrition I was getting. And so I had to do some protocols. It was a long 6 months. It got worse before it got better. But I came out on the other end of it, and I feel like my diet has just expanded. I found myself at a place where I had to go through and figure out what I actually wanted to eat. Like, what do I want my diet to look like? Because I wasn't confined by the things that I could eat to feel well. I all of a sudden I could eat some grains if I wanted to. I could eat some beans if I wanted to. I could eat salads and vegetables and nuts and peanut butter. Like, all of these things opened up to me. And so it was kind of exciting and kind of crazy at the same time, where I was like, what diet do I want to be on, So I worked on changing my body rather than just changing the food. And through doing that, I found myself in a healthier place. My body is healthier. and I get to enjoy more of a variety of food, including Keto Chow. Now I'm able to incorporate that into my diet with no issues whatsoever. And so it's really opened up a lot for me. So I just found that diet was not the only answer. It is huge. It is massive. But it was not the only thing. And it's not easy. That's the other thing I wanted to mention. When you go on the journey of gut healing and different things, getting to the root cause of the issues, it's not easy. For me, I always was thinking a diet's easy. I can do any diet and that would be easy. But when you go down the road of getting tests and supplements and trying something and it not, working, and it's hard, it's difficult. But when you do find those things, it can be extremely rewarding. And you can change your body and not just change your food.